Thank you for joining us for another session with EPEVER webinar series. And today's session focuses on our latest innovation, the portable solar power station, as displayed on the screen. And in recent years, portable energy resources have become essential for many applications. Whether you are camping, working remotely, or preparing for emergencies, these devices offer clean and renewable energy wherever you go. So, starting our own battery manufacturing was a significant step forward for EPEVER, and it was enabling us to deliver all-in-one solutions tailored to a wide range of requirements in the market. And with such a development, EPEVER now addresses the growing demand for portable energy storage solutions. And today we are glad to introduce our ATZ solution for you. So why designing a portable solar system is so important? So it's been decades that off-grid components, you know, let it be a charge controller, let it be the inverter and the batteries. It's been decades that they are in the market and the technology is in the state of the art. So indeed, the fact is that portable systems bring together all key components needed for off-grid power. The charge controller, the inverter, and the battery. And most importantly, the firmware that ties everything together. So a well-designed system makes sure that all these parts work seamlessly with each other. And the charge controller, for example, handles the power coming in from the solar panels, preventing overcharging, undercharging, and making sure the energy is efficiently utilized. So the inverter on the other side steps in, converts the DC power to AC, and which is what most of our devices run on nowadays. And the battery, of course, is the storage, saving up energy for when the sun isn't there for us. So and also the firmware, the software, which is very important and is acting like the braining of the system. And it is being used for optimizing the performances, managing the charge, discharge cycles, ensures everything runs safely and gives you valuable data about the system and how it's doing. So why is good design so important? Because it means maximizing the energy, optimizing the system's performance, and ensuring reliability and safety. So such systems are all about selecting the right components, integrating them perfectly, and making sure the system meets the needs of various applications. So basically with such systems, all-in-one systems, you don't need to take any calculations into account in terms of your loads and these kind of things. And then it has been already calculated. The system has been, unified and merged to each other and is ready to plug and play, essentially. So let's go over what we will be covering today. First, we will start with an introduction of the ATZ. Next, we will discuss the naming conventions and definitions of the product. We'll then move to appearance and connections, where we will take a closer look at the design of ATZ, including its various ports and interfaces. And after that, we will briefly cover the main features and the key specifications of the device. We will also cover the operation and working modes, how to charge a secondary battery, and we will explore the application and a quick overview of the specifications will be done. And at the end, we'll have a brief overview on the certificates that we have acquired for this series, why those certificates are important, and why such a portable system requires so many certificates. We will discover that together. So here is a device with the main and the secondary battery stacked. So ATZ 3600 features a 2048 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate or LiFePO₄ battery, known for its safety, long lifespan, and environmental friendliness. And you can double the capacity with the secondary battery, as you can see on the screen. The battery operates within a voltage range of 40 volts to almost 58.5 volts and performs in temperatures from -20 to plus 40, depending on if this is discharging or if this is charging. And you can charge ATZ with AC charging, car charging, and you can also charge it with solar energy with a 1200 watts input. And in other words, ATC supports both AC and DC inputs. So the AC input operates at 230 volts AC with a range from 200 to 240. Of course, there is 120 version coming very soon. We are at the certification step. It has not been launched yet, but 120 version is coming rapidly to the market, and we will launch it soon. So for the outputs, it's the same story. We have both the DC output and we have the AC outputs. So the AC output provides a steady 3600 watts with a surge capacity of 5.4 kilowatt for a short burst for some certain loads. And the DC outputs, are diverse. We have USB-A ports, USB-C ports, USB-C PD ports, and 12-volt cigarette lighter outputs here. And the dimension of the device is something like 45 by 30 by 40 centimeters. And if you stack the battery, it's going to be like 54 centimeters with the second battery stacked to it. And weight-wise, it's the unit itself is 29 kilograms. And if you stack the secondary battery, it's going to be 44.5. The user interface is simple, intuitive, featuring an LCD display, as you can see here, and it operates efficiently with to altitudes of up to 4,000 meters. However, for higher than 2,000, there are some considerations, and we take this into account. And as mentioned, both available for 120 and 220 versions, and 120 is yet to come to the market very soon. Now, let's go over the naming convention for ATZ series. As you can see, we have two main categories of naming conventions. One for the main battery pack, and the second one is for secondary battery pack. For the main battery, the name starts with ATZ, which indicates the product series, and this is followed by a number, 3600 here, which represents the rated output power in watts. And finally, you see a suffix like EU here, which specifies the target region, and in this case is Europe. And we will have the US suffix, for example, for the 120 version. And for the secondary battery, similarly, it starts with the ATZ, the power, and the suffix now is changed to BAT, and this indicates that this is a secondary battery pack. For example, this means we are looking into a secondary battery pack of the capacity of 3600 watt hours. So now let's break down the front view and see what device actually contains. At the top, you have this telescopic handle designed for portability, and combined with the built-in wheels here, it really makes it easy to move the power station. Next, you'll see the ambient light switch, an ambient light itself for outdoor settings, nighttime activities, or as an emergency signal. And in the center, we have the LCD display, which is the control hub for monitoring systems performance, providing real-time information. And finally, on the right side, there is the reset hole. If the system encounters any issues or configurations has been messed up, for example, one can perform a soft reset using this function and put everything back to the factory default settings. At the top here, then we have the power switch, LCD display, and the Bluetooth switch. So the power switch turns the ATC on or off with a 3-second press, and the LCD display switch activates the screen to monitor details like battery status, input output power, runtime, and with the switch you can conserve the energy consumed by the LCD. And the Bluetooth switch actually enables the Bluetooth module for connecting to the mobile app for remote monitoring and control. And moving to the button here, we have 4 AC sockets which deliver pure sine wave output rated at 3600 and a 5.4 kilowatt of surge capacity. And this is ideal for the applications, with and sensitive electronics as well. And we also have the AC output switch, which lets you control the sockets, turning them on or off to manage the energy efficiently. And then here we have the car cigarette lighter interface. Essentially, these are two 12 volts, 10 amps ports, which are perfect for powering devices like, I don't know, car fridges, air pumps, or other automated accessories. And these are controlled by the DC switch that is in the top part of this section. And next are the USB outputs, basically. So the ATC features two USB-C ports, each delivering 100 watts of power. And these support fast charging protocols like PD3 or QC4+, which are ideal for high power devices like laptops and tablets. And there are also 4 types of USB-C-A ports and 2 USB-C ports. Um, and essentially, these are running on 5 volts DC with the 3 amps capacity. And these are great for charging like smartphones, cameras, and smaller gadgets. And the USB ports themselves are controlled by a switch, which lets you activate or deactivate the ports as needed. And this ensures efficient power management and extends the battery runtime, of course. If you don't need them, you can turn them off. In the back, there are like the key charging and safety components included. Here in the left, you can see the solar panel, car cigarette lighter, charging terminal, and this is where you connect solar panels for charging or plug in a car cigarette lighter. Basically, you connect your DC supply into the system to charge the internal battery of it. Right next to it, we have the AC charging interface, and this is the main port for charging the ATZ from a wall outlet or an external generator. And here at the center, we have the overload protector. And for example, if the load goes too high, the protector will automatically disconnect the power. And all you need to do is to identify the issue, fix it, reset it, and you must be good to go. Then we have this grounding sign here. This indicates where you can properly ground it, you know, the power station for added safety, especially when you are powering sensitive equipment. It's very important to ground your off-grid systems. Quite often, if there is a failure or if there is a hazard system, it's because the grounding has been skipped. So it is highly recommended that you find the proper grounding point and attach it to your system to be on the safe side. And finally, down here, we have the remote control holder slot. So it's a portable device. It's very easy to lose those gadgets and accessories. So you can put the controller back in its place when you're not using it. So finally, this is actually the top view of the ATC. Is the place that you can stack the secondary battery pack to it. It can be easily opened, and then you stack the secondary battery, and it is designed to be really an easy fit connection, ensuring a smooth and secure setup, and which is reliable basically. For the ambient light, we have the light itself and the light switch. So the switch allows you to cycle through different brightness levels. At first press, you will set the light to its highest brightness level. At the second press, you will adjust it to level 2 brightness. A third press lowers it to level 1. And if you press it fourth time, it will be turned off completely. And if you press and hold it for 3 seconds, the light enters the SOS mode where it blinks at regular intervals. And this can be helpful for signaling in emergency situations, which, by the way, I hope you will never need to use it. So with these options, the ambient light is also designed to provide flexibility for different environments and different requirements. Yeah, quite an informative LCD also as a part of the experience. You have the timing icon, which indicates the active timer function, the high temperature warning, and the low temperature warning, which is indicating, hey, if the device is running under the expected temperatures. Then you have the power input. It shows the energy received from charging source in watts. And then you have the remaining charging time in minutes. And this essentially displays the time left for a full charge in minutes or hours. Also, here in the down part, we have the secondary battery pack icon. And this shows the remaining capacity if you have connected an additional battery pack. This helps you to keep the track of extended power availability. Do you have it or not? You will see it from here. Next to it, you'll see the AC input and then the DC input indicators. And these let you know whether the power station is charging via AC power source, like a wall outlet, or through a DC input, such as solar panels or car chargers. Then we have also the wireless charging and Wi-Fi icons available here. They're not functional yet, so these are just reserved and not functioning yet. And if we continue in the center, you'll see the battery level bar and remaining battery percentage, giving you an easy way to monitor how much charge is left in the system. On the right side, we have the Bluetooth icon, which shows if the system is connected to the app. Next to it are the USB-A and USB-C icons, which light up when devices are charging, and then USB-C PD icon that confirms the fast charging is active indeed. And finally, the output and runtime indicators on the LCD display. Here at this part, at the bottom, you'll see the cigarette lighter icon and the AC output icon, which lights up to show active power delivery through the respective ports. About that, the remaining battery time lets you know how much of time is left in minutes or hours based on your current usage. Then we have the output power, displaying how much power in watts is being delivered to your connected devices. This is also an important feature. Normally you buy it as a separate gadget in the market, but this just gives you the right live measurement of all the usage that you have in your system. And you can actually use it like to experiment what is the actual wattage of a specific device, which is quite interesting. And finally, we have the frequency here. These frequency indicators show whether the system is operating in 50 Hertz or 60 Hertz, and depending on the requirements of your region or your devices. So consolidating all connections, what you see here is that ATZ is providing USB-A, USB-C, car cigarette lighters, AC output, DC output, and everything is actually designed to meet a wide range of needs and supports wide range of applications in the market. And on the back also you have seen the DC charger, the AC charger, and the protective units, which provides ease of mind when you're applying such devices close to yourself. Here's also a picture that depicts, the different types of consumers that you can attach to the system, the cigarette lighters, and the high power output DC ports, fast chargers, and USB connections. Also, these are some examples of how you plug in reality to such a device, the AC outputs, the USB connections, and this is also a picture that shows how this unit is being charged with a wall plug. So we have essentially covered some sort of general features in terms of the AC output power, the input power, how much of power we can deal, the AC output. Of course, the ATZ 3600 watts is, or EU, is essentially 230 volt AC device, but I put 120 just to let you know that this is also going to be available very soon for the regions with different nominal voltages. The DC outputs are clear. The battery voltage is also clear that it's running on 51.2 volt DC. However, about the protections. When it comes to power systems like ATZ, the portable systems, protection features are absolutely critical. And these systems normally handle high capacity energy transfer. So built-in safety mechanisms are essential to protect the unit, protect the devices, and protect also the users. So without proper protections, risk like overloading, short circuits, or temperature issues could lead to equipment failure or even, unfortunately, sometimes safety hazards. So what kind of protections do we have for ATZ? We have protections on the AC side, AC output side. It includes the overload protection, which safeguards your appliances from drawing excessive power from the unit. So essentially, this is protecting the unit itself. Then it comes to the DC outputs. It is safeguarding against USB overload, PD overload, and car charging overload, and even short circuits. And this is ensuring that connected devices and ports remain protected. And for the DC or utility inputs, we have the over voltage and under voltage protection, which shields the system from unstable input power sources. And finally, the main and secondary battery packs are equipped with temperature protections, actually to prevent overheating or freezing, ensuring long-term performance and safety. And these protections make the ATZ 3600 a reliable and a safe solution. So whether you are powering the small gadgets, large applications, managing charging in a very varying environmental conditions, this is going to be a suitable solution for your application. And just some sort of remaining highlights from the unit. Let's start with the charging flexibility, let's say. So this unit supports multiple charging methods, from PV charging, car charging, AC wall charging, external generator charging, to even combining the AC and solar together for simultaneous input. And this is actually fast. So with super fast charging, the battery can reach up to 100% in just 1.2 hours using AC or combined AC and DC inputs. And the durability is another standout for this device. So the LiFePO₄ battery is designed for cycles over 3,000 cycles, with also a battery management system on it, which ensures reliability and long lifespan. Of course, this depends on the depth of discharge. We have the smart management, we have Bluetooth for monitoring and infrared remote for long distance control, of course. And finally, we have the energy efficient and quiet feature for ATZ. So with an energy saving mode and a silent charging mode, the noise can be as low as just 30 decibels, making it ideal for quiet environments. And this is what makes the ATZ a powerful, reliable, a versatile solution for different situations. Let's talk about the operations and working modes. First, there is solar charging. The ATZ supports input from solar panels, providing clean, renewable energy. It is perfect for outdoor use and helps reduce your carbon footprint. Next is the AC charging. So after DC charging, we have the AC charging, which allows you to recharge the unit through a standard wall outlet. And then we have the car charging. You can use the car cigarette lighter port to recharge the unit. It's great for road trips or emergencies while you are on the road. You can charge this unit for yourself. And finally, there is solar plus AC charging, a combined mode that takes charging, let's say, to the next level. And by using solar panels alongside AC input, you can significantly reduce the total recharging time. And this can be as fast as 1.2 hours, basically. So here, as you can see, you can charge the ATZ directly using a solar PV panel using the cable that is included in it, or you can use the battery car outlet and use that as a DC source to charge ATZ. That's also possible, and that will take 17 hours. Is a bit longer. Of course, also it depends on the car's battery, but essentially it takes much longer to charge it this way. Then we have, of course, the AC direct charging from the plug, and then you'll have to wait 1.2 hours to get the battery fully recharged. And finally, ATZ can be charged simultaneously using the DC input and the AC input to the system. So there are multiple options to charge the secondary battery pack, as you can see here. You can basically disconnect the secondary battery from the ATZ, connect it to the solar DC system, and it will start to charge the battery without the requirement to have the main unit itself. So you can have it standing somewhere and charging that with the PV panel, and then you will have the option to charge a secondary battery using the ATZ itself. ATZ is powered off and the PV charges the secondary battery, as you can see here. Also, there is an option to charge it using the wall outlet. You can stack it over the main battery and let the power plug charge the unit itself, and then it starts to charge the secondary battery for you. And as the last option, basically you can use both AC and DC power together, and in this way the secondary battery will not be charged. So the secondary battery connects to ATZ, and in this setup only the main battery can be charged. AC or DC power cannot charge the secondary battery together. So this way the secondary battery will not be charged. It should be either the plug or the power plug or the DC input to charge the secondary battery. And of course, it's also possible to charge the main unit using the secondary battery. And to start charging, you need to press the power button on the secondary battery for 3 seconds within 10 seconds of powering the ACC itself. And you need to make sure that the state of the charge of the second battery is always about 4%, otherwise it will not charge. And this kind of charging will stop under specific conditions, like if the power button on the secondary battery is pressed for 3 seconds, it will go off, or when the AC power or PV input are connected simultaneously, as covered in the previous slide, or when the SOC or state of the charge of this battery goes below 4%, then it will stop charging. There is also an app included. So ATZ includes a smart app for remote and real-time monitoring. You can view the power station information, update the software version, monitor the working status, and personalize the settings based on the requirements using this app. You can consult our manual in order to understand how we need to download the app and how we can use the app for this purpose. So it's included in the manual. I recommend it that you can check it. There are also a bunch of troubleshooting information included in the manual. So some common issues you might encounter, like overvoltage or undervoltage for DC and AC inputs, the USB or car charging overloads, AC output overloads, and temperature extremes like high or low temperatures. And for more detailed guidance on how to tackle these challenges, you can again consult the user manual, and there are useful information for you how to fix the issues. So we have covered the essential features just as a class, as you can see here, this is the specifications of the AC input and the DC input, which can handle up to 1200 watts. The AC output available at a pure sine wave format for 230 version with a 60 hertz, and the total harmonic distortion is less than 3%, which is relatively good for such a device. And then we have the DC output specifications are here. We have different voltages, different wattages. We also discussed the battery, what type of battery it is, what is the nominal voltage of it, and what is the operating temperature range of this unit and the nominal capacity of it, and the charging time in different modes. Basically, the quickest one is 1.2 hours. And finally, some sort of other specifications for this unit, which is available currently on our website, and you can have a look at. And last but not least, these are actually the certificates associated with ATZ. For portable solar power stations, there are very restricted rules and qualifications as industry practices, because these units can be everywhere, like can be in living environment, can be inside your car, can be in your business area. So they must comply with various standards. For example, IEC 62368-1, which is about the critical safety standards to protect users from essentially the electrical hazards, let's say, or the EMC electromagnetic compatibility. If you have multiple devices which might have some electromagnetic interference, this must be lower than a certain level so that those devices can work safely together or beside each other. Then we have the RAD, the radio equipment directive, which ensures that any radio equipment complies with health, safety, and a spectral, let's say, range of the communication. And then we have the UN 38.3, which focuses on safe transportation of lithium batteries, ROHS for restriction of hazardous substances, and this is limiting harmful materials in the product. We have the persistent organic pollutants. This is an environmental factor, and this certification essentially ensures that the products are free from pollutant that could harm the ecosystem or the human health. And then comes the SVHC, or substances of very high concern, comes under REACH, essentially regulations, and this ensures that products do not contain harmful substances above permitted thresholds. And this is also promoting safe use and safe handling of the device. REACH REACH restricts certain hazardous substances to ensure the safety. FCC is the standard for electromagnetic interference again and radio frequency emissions. CB is certification body scheme providing international recognition of product testing. It is just trying to simplify the access to global market by adhering to international safety standards. CA65, this also is about the chemicals that may cause cancer or reproductive harm, and it's about transparency and an informed choice for the customers. And finally, we have the classification and identification report on hazardous characteristics, which assesses products for hazardous properties, particularly in transportation and handling, and this is also ensuring safety and logistics as well. So this all shows that it is indeed a challenging area to deliver something that is really compliant and really reliable in the market, and this shows our commitment to make sure that our customers are getting the right devices with the right specifications to meet their demands. So with that, thank you so much for your attention.